The show's about ready to begin. I'm pretty sure I can be heard. I didn't check though. I'm gonna have to get some confirmation. Oh yeah, I know I can be heard. Just waiting on everybody to get in. I keep bumping that with my hat. Just waiting for some viewers. This is the one that she likes. So I've been, and I liked it better, so I've been getting these. I have a mod, but it broke. It stopped working. But I've got some love messages, advice. I'm gonna review a video I did a while back, and if my opinion differs now, uh, later or whatever, how long it's been, it might have been, or at least my opinion. So I'm going to go back over that and play it, and I'm going to kind of do my own self critique. What kind of a guru are my words going to match actions today? This is going to be interesting. I haven't done this yet. I wanted to see. It was something I was thinking about doing, but I'm like, no, I'd rather fly. Let me see if what I said then, maybe expand upon it more. Maybe I can explain it better now, or maybe I can, or maybe I'll completely off. I don't know. I kind of remember it. I've 50 times myself, but we're going to find out. Uh, I got the link up here for anybody who wants to join. So we'll see. If not, I'll just do this by myself. I don't care. It's kind of early in the morning on a Sunday. It's February 28th. Special day for someone in my family. So shout out to you. You know who you are. If you happen to be watching, I doubt it. Or if you do see this later, happy birthday. Big changes coming in my life. Big changes. wonder if it looks better with the light on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, 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 oh. This one doesn't get much attention. This one is, there's a story behind this one. And it's kind of funny because it goes to the grounding. I'll tell you all that later. That's another story. It goes back to my I'm very childish in a lot of ways, I guess. I refuse to call. Oh, come on with the ads. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here with the ads over here. Hey, oh, hey, take it easy there. Get back to the music. Sorry about that, folks. I ain't got the ad blocker on this device. So, you know, it's gonna get interrupted with the music here. That's fine. I think I'm just commercialized. We're gonna see. This was another shirt that my fiance got. How sure is that, right? So I'm gonna give this a little bit more time, and then I'll go into uh, that video. The video I'm talking about is called "Your Pitchfork of Love," and I did this video a long time ago. And I must say, I look pretty good. Had a good band. I was a lot more serious at the point. I was going through a lot, and down a little bit. So I was a lot in that video, and I had not been um, in. This is. I'm sorry. This is distracting because my new podcast here is like just dancing all over the place here. I don't know if you can see all that, but I'm trying to anyway. But it's picking up on all the volume and all that. It's feeding like here. Well, not feeding back, but it's giving me feedback on what it's doing. So anyway, so when I get the sound effect, I haven't figured it out. Well, I figured it out, but I can't get it to actually play through unless I do something else I don't want to do, but I may. Uh, I have to do with the wiring of it. So well, we'll see. I'm still working on. This is the first one, first podcast, what you want to call it, that I've used mic, um, different backdrop, stuff like that. So actually, I can do this one. I think this one has that. I think this one. Maybe it's. Maybe not. I don't know. Uh-oh. The light. I think I did. There we go. Oh, all right. So, anyways, what I was getting to was, how different do I feel now uh, than I did then when I made the video, "Do a Pitchfork of Love," and I'm going to play that. In fact, I'll look it up now, and I'll post it in the. If I want to look at it, click on it. It's on my old. Um, that's not the one. We go all the way back down to it. A lot's happened since that video was made. Just back when Upper Spec was still around, 9/11 was like the biggest. Uh, that's all we thought we had to worry about, and just a lot of different things. There it is. Okay, let me pause that. And, how can I share it? All right. So now let's get back over to like I'll post this in the chat here. There we go. All right. The link is in the chat now, and that's the video that I'm going to review. Okay. I'm going to get post it, and I don't know if it will. Okay. Well, I don't know. There we go. So that's the video that I'm going to review. So if you guys want to see it, so now in the future, I was in talks with Skylar about possibly doing a podcast with her in regards to some topics that she wanted to talk about. So we may do that. I don't know. So I don't really talk about it much with her, but we were talking about. Oh, here. Hey, who is that? These glasses. These are my cool glasses. Here, what we got here? Keep playing MMA. What's up, bro? What's up? Uh, so yeah, that's the video I'm gonna review. So I'm the guru. You can ask me. I've lived a fucked up life, man. To take my words and fuck your life. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. You have really decent advice for those who want to hear it. This is not the people who don't want to hear it. But anyway, um, so yeah, I may try to pull that video up now, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just talk about this for a little bit. But that's the video I'm going to be reviewing. Um, my own video, for those who are just now getting here. You guys, I'm going to go back and look at my own words and see if I have any thoughts. So anyway, but yeah, guys, that's what this one's about. Unless you want to come up here, I'm going to do that anyway. Hop on and chit chat. That one's getting a little funky. Okay. A little bit. See, that one's getting a little too trapped. Not like that one. Anyway, so All right. All right, let's pull this one up here. Well, actually, I could just go over the mine thing and get out of that one here. Get over to my team. So now I'm going to my own live and click on the link. So here we go. Pitchfork. That's what we've been taught. What to do with love. This is going to symbolize that you call love. Possible. Lynn, what do you mean by I don't want to hurt anyone? Actually, you want to love them. But how do you go? Now, the video that I'm talking about in here. How do you prove to yourself that this person loves you? Right. How do you prove to yourself that's not a question a lot of people ask. Almost a given, right? Um, yeah, right. Well, you just know. Say it to them. But then when their actions don't back up, what do you do then? Um, there's a lot of times that, where you'll be in a situation where, uh, what a person says and what they do, and you start to wonder. Anybody would, you know, and that's usually a sign to get the fuck out. Like that's pretty much human nature, Oh, yeah, you know, I'm out of there. Um, and most people can figure that out. They're when they're getting head games played on them and manipulation and stuff like that. Um, you know, relationship and this is what I'm talking about that exact. If you're in doubt of whether or not somebody loves you, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to it that a lot of people don't really wrap their heads around. It's I think more of a question of how do they love? What is their love like? You know what I mean? Not all of them. People don't always love you the way that you want them to love you. They're not, people are not make them love you a certain way, or else they. That's just not how that's supposed to be. So let's listen more to what I had to say. Now let me see if you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. So this is the this is the video. Go ahead and listen in. You've been taught that you have to hurt them in order to love them. No, 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 no. That's not how I Lynn. Oh, really? Let's break this down, shall we? Whenever you go love someone, or whenever you even put them through this series of tests, because they have, I'm going to refer to these gold standards. I'm going to refer
to love as gold, okay? Because this is what if you have real gold in your heart and say, I like, you know they want, they want that. Now, what have you attributed that gold to? Is it pussy? Is it your tank item? Or is it your protection? That's what you attribute your work really been given a great looking body, or you work hard on your body, because you're assigning all your gold value to your body. That's what we want people to be that you've been able to amass. Give a value to that. Afraid that they're going to come in. Or is it that kind of loss that when someone takes that you to love? So how do you differentiate between those those three things? Walk the pitchfork, you stab.
So a lot of people have learned, especially loved and lost, uh, is they tend to close off. Uh, they go, well, I'm not going to do that again. You know, I'm never going to open myself up or be vulnerable like that again, ever. No, no, too painful. I've learned my lesson. So they hold back and hold, and it ends up costing them more than it saves them. Um, it's almost like driving across the street, wasting gas to save 5 cents a gallon. You see what I'm saying? When you do the math, seems like the right thing to do because hey, it's cheaper over there. Go get it. You're spending to go get it. What you save 5 cents a gallon, you get 10 gallons, 20 gallons. It still doesn't. Now you got to come back. Yes, go. You got to come back. So it, I'm just talking here, but it seems right is not always right. You can look at math, you can look at it how you want, but when you really do that, you realize that's not the right thing to do. So when people do that, when they hold, um, oh, get- when they hold, yeah, ha 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 ha. What's up, Sebastian? This is why I likes you, Sebastian. Why do you project so much? No one likes you. You don't have a following, so I don't know why you think you do. So why you're such a cook. You follow. You don't lead. And you're like a little minion. But in your mind, your little fantasy world is great. Sorry about your injury, but it's probably more of an injury. Um, so anyway, you're gonna end up learning a lesson when it comes to that. Bye bye. Let's see here. Sebastian. Bye bye. Come back on the other channel. Come back. But you're going to learn a lesson when people do this. You know, you're trolled on this channel. Who cares? When you do have that type of, uh, it does it does sabotage, and which creates even more and more and more of the pain and the misery of trying to get you know the relationship. Take, for instance, Sebastian. Okay, he does anything and keeps coming back without learning. He keeps running back. One day, it's not a friend. He keeps hoping he's going to find love and that he's going to prove himself. Coming back every time he snaps her fingers that he's doing something to her, and he's not. He's just being used, and we all know it. We all know it. We feel bad, huh? We really do. But I think you deserve it. Running back to that stupid situation and how badly she wrecked you. Talking to me on Skype about how you were gay men while she was on Skype with you, and she heard it. Now, she said that about everybody. She was damn sure that you were. I mean, she sent me audio. She recorded it to me, and it was fucked up, man. It was fucked up. But you know, I don't know what, dude. You've got mental well, but that's just uh, a really fucked up relationship that was based on nothing. There was nothing there, man. There nothing on that in that relationship for between him and Tiffany that was of any value, that had any value, and he knew it. He kept trying, kept going. Leave him with the kid to go. When she'd come back, he was asleep, and her kid was playing Xbox with the sliding door open. He was the bad guy because someone could have come in and got her or something like that. That's what she was telling me. So I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, where were you? First of all, you left in the hands of an internet guy that and then you're mad that you would watch while you're out getting meth, and he's searching on trying to find your rig. Yeah, see, that's something Tiffany probably didn't know either. He was telling me this whole time you're both talking shit about each other on Skype, and you didn't know that. It may not have been at the same time, but it's been shit to me during that time. And I'm sitting back going, "Oh, this is so fun." People seeking love, all we talk about was the pussy. I mean, yes, that's all he cared about, really. And and then when it didn't pan out, then of course they kinda go after each other a little bit, and then they come back, and they go after it, and they come back. And it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And it's still going on. She's not having, I guess, anything to do with you publicly, but you're still gonna, you're showing that there's something going on by going out and being your opinion, which you don't normally do unless you're over it, because otherwise you don't really have a lot to say. You've got this whole you always got this secret, this is you're working on something secret. That's the thing is really positive, going after him, saying that you were gonna expose that he was involved in. You and Tiffany were working on something, some big secret, never anything. always got these. You always act like a big thing. You got this bad information that you're gonna drop in nowhere, like it's so fucking bad, and you're just never. And not once. I haven't seen it. I mean, you do your thing. I don't care. It's about it's love. All right, and you get stabbed with it a few times, and you what's going. You know what I mean? And this is what I was talking about on this video. Why I'm doing it this many years later. To see if my opinion has changed my own opinion. Has my opinion changed on this video? So let's keep listening.
Wait for a reaction. How do I know this person? If you don't know, if you don't see what the person's doing, and you can't see it because you're blinded by what you've been taught, give you what you want when you demand it. Well, then they must be a little force carrying devil. You stab them and you wait for a reaction. You realize you're doing it, but that's all you've been taught. You stab them, you wait for are they going to get angry or are they going to get stabbed? If they get angry, well, then I was right. I hurt them and they got mad over it. I must or stab them and you go, did shit, golly, you need to do that. I do that. I didn't think I do. Well, now I feel bad and they feel bad. Now what do we do? Now I've made a star on this person for no reason. Well, guess what? You put a star on the person you saw too. Temporary.
Hmm.
Now that person walks on the stars. You took joy in that. But if that person walks away sad, then you're sad.
Hmm.
Either way, the scar the other person. And you've been taught that that's how you differentiate love. So what happens? Scar the person that was trying to give you an investigation whether or not love, their love, was going to be a good investment. That wasn't a good investment. They got hurt. They got scarred. Now, what really invested gold they put on the table will depend on how much they were willing to put on the table. Now, let's say, for example, I'm going to take a nice big chunk and stick it on the table. Let's say I take all of it and I stick it on the table. And that person comes along and says, "What, you giving me all this gold here?" I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take all that love. I'm going to spread it. I don't know if this love is counterfeit or real. Because I don't know between the two. The only thing I know is pull out my passport occasionally. I pull on to this love. Before I give any back to you, my pile of love, I need to pull out my weapon. I need to stab you and see how you react. Then that gave me real gold because I can't tell it myself.
See, that's what the deal is. This, this video is how old? is that a lot of people, they don't know, especially if they've been or whatever, like I said before, in a past relationship, is that they don't know. Sometimes people don't know. They've lost that ability to, or maybe they haven't lost the ability. They never really learned how to recognize to begin with. So they thought they knew. They were hurt because they didn't know. Then they manufacture a reason in their head as to, why that happened. It's not because of them. No, never them. Never their fault. It's the other person, you know. Who wants to blame? I mean, look, nobody wants to blame themselves for failure. Nobody wants to pick up on actions, you know. And so they don't take any account. They don't think it over. They don't realize what they make. And if they do, they still tend to not learn from them. Or if they did learn from them, then they, yeah, look, hey, bring all of them, bro. Let me bring them all. Okay, ban all of them. So they tend to, yeah, you know, or how can I say this? They tend to forget the lessons and remember correctly, um, in a way that's more pleasing to them. So that's one of the biggest mistakes of not realizing what they did wrong or how the relationship was wrong, how it got started off on, and it was built on really nothing other than just familiarity, comfort, you know, part, comfort part, because now you're comfortable with the person. The love part is, the second part, it's an infatuation, it's a lust, and it just dies. And now you with each other, but hey, since you're already in it, let's just go. But no, neither one of you are really happy. There's moments, but neither one of you are really happy until eventually, what happens? Either somebody finds somebody more and they move on, either infidelity or you break it off and go, no, right, I'm not a kind, but I'm gonna just break this off. You know? And it's painful because it's really not really a loss of love. It's more of a loss of and a environment we're used to, and it's a little a new environment, especially if we're long. So and I'm just thinking about situations like people I know online, where there's a reason why a certain person doesn't move on from their current living situation and continues to go back to it. Keep trying to leave. It's a comfort thing that they don't want, but they don't feel the courage and strength to be that again for real. So for them, it's just sex capades that they go, and the person that with is okay with it because they've kind of drawn that line. They're like, okay, fine, you're just a live-in sex doll, essentially, and um, and that's all. That's all they pretty much hear as, and everybody knows who. But, and it's sad that but hey, and she's got a kid living with her, so she's kind of looking. I've got to do something. No one's come along that she would want to. I mean, they satisfy her other needs, if you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Strange, but they don't satisfy her in any other way that's meaningful because she can't. She doesn't want, you know get to that trust. It's not done grown up yet. Um, that happens to a lot of they get out of control. It could be childhood events. It could be they've had that never worked out because they never built a foundation of trust, communication, open communication. They didn't build anything. They just went straight in and just jumped right in. They knew what they were doing, and then they play the blame game that don't work out. And meanwhile, they never had a relationship. Well, that's not a relationship. Um, relationships are built on trust and mutual, not bullshit that you see online here with some of the going around causing havoc online. Their lives are fucking miserable, and they want you to be just as miserable so they can look back on their own. Well, mine's not today. And they don't mind. It's just you're not a real person on the internet. You're just an NPC to them. Let's see if I can get a reaction out of them. Let's type some really fucking. Let's see if I can get this for sure. 9 times out of time, they're fucking high. All right, you're fucking high as shit right now. Nobody cares about you, anyways. I can be just. Nobody's cared about you in a long time, have they? Well, that's your fault, buddy. Enjoy your AIDS. But getting back to what I was saying in this video, they don't know how to differentiate. They don't. What they so the way that they do it is they may have a lot of love to give, but they're not just going to give it out. Not that kind of love. What they'll do is they'll do things that will kind of like interrupt or kind of fuck up their vibe because no any other way. So let's see. Here's what they do. They'll do something to see if you love them. You know what I mean? In their mind, well, if I pull away, will he chase? Well, that only worked for after all. That's their bullshit. You know what I mean? Or uh, if I get upset, if I tell a lie, will he forgive me? If I do all these things, these are all pitchforks stabbing you with all the little stabs they're giving you to see how you react to it. And depending on how they're going to react, and keep coming back and letting them basically, you know what I mean? Um, it becomes a routine that has no consequence. And then once it becomes the routine, they decide that's how I'm just going to, and that's how it's supposed to work because nobody's perfect and everybody's this and that. Meanwhile, nobody's learning, nobody's growing. They're actually just slowly working. But eventually, they one of them falls off, and it might come back because they're so used to being forgiven for almost. Well, this is not that far away from the worst thing I've done, so it'll be. And then they try to come back, and then you know what I mean, like it's gotten too many little axe chops at that love tree. In order to rebuild it, or grow it would take a long time, work, a lot of love, and that kind of love. Do they want no, it must move on to somebody else. Start over there. Just keep starting the process over again. Hope it's different. If they just keep the same thing, it's different because somebody will love them the right. Well, the problem is they don't know what the right way is, and if they do see it, they're not going to know what it is. They're not going to trust it. They're not going to trust that. They're used to the old way, and they're thinking that it's going to end up being perfect. The same way the old patents were, which was fucked up. It was a really fucked up cycle to be in. Um, and stem love correctly. And a big, big, big part of that is loving yourself. Loving yourself enough to recognize when someone else, then you can help themselves. You both can love each other. And that's how it is supposed to work. If it's going, that's how it's supposed to work. There are relationships that don't have that. They last for a little while, but you ask any of them, they're miserable. If they admit it, they're the ones. They're your buddies that will go to the bar and they're checking out every woman in the bar. They're talking about their fantasies. They're doing all that shit. You say, "What you might think if she heard, you know, oh, she's doing it too. I know she is." And it's like that somehow become the norm. You know, a woman goes out to the bar with her friends and they're checking out every hot guy. Now they're married. They're just window. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Sure, there's nothing wrong with that. Sure, that window at the bar or at work or whatever it is. You know, they gossip about hot guys, and you can appreciate someone who Lola Pop. And it's so hard out there. Lola Pop. I don't know who that Lola Pop is. No, every relationship has problems and challenges. That's every relationship. I'm talking about the people who are in situations. Because I was thinking about this a while back. When you find love, you know, true love, and you listen to some of my like tarot things like that, where um, and more advise basically share what I, you know what I mean, and things like that. Not that I'm an expert, but I've been through a lot. Okay, and people don't. They don't know what they want, and everybody might say they do, but in reality, have you ever really thought what you really want? And some people, sometimes somebody's try them, their ups and downs, and blah blah blah. Someone who's gonna be there to bail them out of jail, you know, or, you know, breaks down, run out there and grab them. That friendship, you want a relationship that even if it did break up, they would have that friend. You know, they want that. And in some places, I guess that works, you know, but then they don't ever they don't know what they're looking for. They can find, figure it out, so they just live with it. And but meanwhile, they actually try to find something really, really want or and that's what this video is about. Let's listen to some more of this here.
I don't know how to. This is the only thing I know. I'm gonna stab you, see how you react, and now we're both hurt. One. You know why? Because when that scar is hurt, he walks away. You're not allowed to hang on to that gold. He took it with him, or she took it with him. So now you feel like you've been wrong somehow. Feel that loss. And what does that do to you? Makes you angry, or except they didn't fall out with it. They simply went away, simply took back what they had given.
Yeah.
So you've been,
Real love. And I, where someone tried to love me, and I didn't trust it, but I knew when it was gone. And I was too busy not wanting to sit down. Um, and it took a little while to realize that, that I wasn't ready, for anything. I actually was. I was ready. I just wasn't looking because I was wanting it, but I didn't know how to recognize it when, and so I missed it, in ways. I dismissed them sometimes, and I guess you could say ghosting them, uh, and just kept it on just a, you know, and never any further until until the L showed up, love word, and then I was out of there. Not yet, not ready for that. So because I wasn't thinking that way, and I didn't, and a lot of that came from not loving enough to allow anybody else. Like if I don't love myself, how could you? Like yeah. See, that's common, of course. And I've been through a lot, and Lola, it sounds like you have too. You said I know from experience, and so I wasn't ready either. You know, that kind of thing you see, and just saying, if more people really openly communicate, because that's critical to relationships, is like that kind of stuff. Um, Same for sure. So when when you see that happening, all you can do is almost just pray for them that they get this ironed out, figure out what's wrong or uh, what they're doing wrong. Mental man, what's going on, man? Yeah, we're good. Um, yeah, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, where was I? If when they take it away and you feel that loss, that is that can be devastating, man. Especially if there's no chance of coming back. Like there, if you when you know there's no chance of it coming back, that can be devastating. When you realize, oh shit, no way. You know what I mean? And, what could have been, start going through your mind, what could have happened, how my life would be different now if I just worked on it, if I had, done everything I could so that if I did walk away, have peace and knowing that I did everything that I could possibly do. And, you know, so that feeling can be really, really horrible. I know. Trust me. I know. So my opinion really has not changed at all since this video was made. Let me look at the when I uploaded this. Let's see here. It's 11 years ago. Wow. Okay. So it's 11 years ago. Um, and so when you when did you decide relationship? Um, The relationship that I'm talking about happened a long time. Um, it was between me and my ex. Um, he, it started off um, great, but it started off circle, and then they never, you know, they there was more of a young love that turned into something that more convenience. Um, and there was a lot of passion, but there was something that I could never, like, I could never sit and talk. You know what I mean? What was really on my mind. It just never was that way. You know, to relate to me on that level. But other than that, you know, I didn't realize was more critical than anything else was not having that talk about things that were just mind blowing or that and what the world's really real, not real. What's happening. It was just too far out. You know, for her, and it was just in her mind. You know. And so me never being able to have that connection with her worked on me, worked on, and eventually got to the point I just did not feel that connection anymore. Mystical. I felt like their aura was to this being more. Well, I suppose the relationship that I'm in now, um, is kind of bringing this up, to me, so that I guess maybe my subconscious saying, "Hey, don't fuck this up by doing anything else that didn't work. What have you learned? Don't keep standing behind." It's anyway. So I guess I'm rehashing myself. I mean, possibly for so she understands where I'm at as well because I'm talked we discussed all this before. But anyway, that mistake that um, that I made in the past, I have talked about this because I remember telling her this, was that I left her alone too much and focused too much on myself and pretense that I was doing it for us, but I was actually trying. I was really just. I ended up spending it away. I almost dreaded coming home. Not because there would be arguments or anything like that. It's just I just didn't want to be. There was just something about her that just frustrated me. I didn't want to be around her anymore. I couldn't talk to her. She would talk to me about things. We could talk about TV, talk about whatever. The magazines and things like that. That we could talk about all day. But deeper things, universe, God, powers, um, everything. How long have I been with? Um, it's been months. We're engaged now, got a baby on the way, and working on and that's why I put cash out there for because it could help out. Um, definitely would help out. Uh, 'Cause we're not, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you. Um, I'm- but so is that is COVID? I don't know if that is- yeah. Anyway, that's a little hard. Yeah. Well, so where was I at? Um, lost my train of thought. But yeah, I guess this is kind of like a little bit for her, mainly just because I was watching her reading a tarot reading, and it was telling me to, um, to demonstrate to others or show others what relationship's supposed to be about. You know what I mean? What it's really built on, how you're supposed to go about these things. And if you're dealing with someone who is emotionally scarred, which sounds like, oh, you, you uh, I thought comments, I thought you said something that you understood, or you when you're facing challenges in your relationship. Some people can be very emotionally scarred, and oftentimes that can make them immature emotionally when it comes to love. They can be mature on everything else, but emotionally, they're they're a teenager. Never past that. Because they've never experienced anything that actually something that can make them grow. People tend to have that as a defense mechanism, shield their own. I've seen a lot of difficult paths because of the way I love. That you met in a rehab facility. Well, see, okay, so then there you go. Let's see here. Met in a rehab. Okay. So now, in your a messy situation, talk about it. You don't have to get on camera or anything, but if you want to just, hop on and talk about it, that's fine. Um, and tell me more about what happened. I'd like to hear. So that if you're meeting in a rehab, okay, that can be very very difficult. I can see that right off the bat. You're gonna have a you're both gonna have to get over going like what they normally tell you. You're not sober for at least a year before you start a relationship. Then it's more likely gonna one of the two, if not both, relapsing. And that's pretty much everybody will tell you that. It's the most common thing that happens. But it's so easy to fall into a relationship when you're, no, no, you don't have to get on camera. You can not, and, you don't have to cam up or nothing. But um, so end up being what was that? Shit, video. Yeah, what the hell I'm talking about? Um, okay, when you're in that kind of situation, you want something to hold on to. The lack of love in your life is just really, really lonely, and you don't wanna have to go through this on your own. A lot of sexual tension there. Um, a lot of people deal with their depression or whatever. Sometimes I feel bad. But that's just in real there's a lot of that goes on. I worked at a homeless shelter, um, at, encounter, you get to watch firsthand what goes um, what goes on outside of the shelter, what goes inside, and the couples that come and go, homeless people. Yeah, they exist, I mean, I'm sure you've seen them out there. Um, 99 times they're on drugs. That's a codependent relationship. They call that they mistakenly believe that their relationship, their codependent, drug addicted relationship is love. And so they base all their experience on maybe they grew up, drugs basically, or moved on drugs when they were a kid and never had a real relationship in their life. Now they're on the street wondering what they know everything because you're, you're a grown ass person, you know. And meanwhile, they're on it. But try and tell them that, or if yes, yes, yeah, then tell you what you want to hear, ask you for $5. So, but in a rehab mm, in there, it doesn't always mean that you're going to work on because sometimes people are I've seen things work amazing. Um, Couples who have met the worst situations, yet that's what where they were divinely guided to. So that that yin to the yang situation again, it they're beginning together, rely on each other, but they're sober and they're coming into this relationship sober and in the right mindset. Uh, again, um, or at least maybe they're not ready, but they want to be ready. And if you can just stick it out and be the best that you can be in the situation, then yeah, it but it takes work. That's a work's a lot of work. For a lot of people. And you say the word work, and they're like, "Fuck that, I'm out." Fuck, this ain't supposed to be work. A relationship is work. It's a lot of work goes into it. But that's what makes it great. Because it wasn't just everybody wants to just everybody's so childish. They want their love to be just given like that. When it's just given to you, you earn it. Now the person do that to everybody. Why would I trust that? You just give that love to anybody? I didn't do anything. So you gotta be careful about certain that aspect. Some people they just want to love so bad. They'll give it to anyone, and whatever love they get, they take it and run. And then, you know, the people where they take the love, they suck it in, recharge like a battery, and then they go and they leave the person that loves them, and they'll go and do it with everybody else. Except when they got it. They'll return back to recharge, and whatever love they give them, go out and give it to everybody else. Hoping that different, that more, and it never happens. They, they'll go out, donate to this, or they'll take something that you did, let's say you give 'em money, and instead of using it on themselves, you know, give to some people, and they're expecting this love to come back to them, or that might be a bad example, but it never does. So, or if it does, it's fleeting, and then now they're left with nothing. Then they want to come back and say, "Well, that didn't work. So now what?" Like that's what I've seen happen in a lot of different cases. But where am I going with that? I keep thinking about your situation, Lola, like what that was like. Can you type in something that um, you give me like an example of like how messy you said. How messy? What do you mean by messy? I'm just curious. In the meantime, while you're doing that, let's continue to listen to this. Okay.
Yeah, find out whether or not someone loves you for real. And you've also been taught that doesn't help anything. It doesn't help. It hurts you and it hurts you do it anyway because that's all you know. You have been given what you were not taught how to love correctly.
Right.
real one comes along and you're trying to hoard it, stab to see if it's real. I got this plug here, but I don't know if it feels real. So the only thing I know how to tell is to stab you a little bit and see if you do what I get angry or get sad, then I'm going to feel sad. But that's the only way I know how. You know, I know it's going to be chaos. My this is all.
See, now that years ago I was talking, and I still see it going on. You know, way that people have learned how to love, and then they wonder why they keep sabotaging it, thinking that they're doing the right thing. You can investigate to make sure that where they is a good investment, but by doing that, they turn it into a bad investment because they've now destroyed all everything that could have been by doing that. And yes, I've seen that where the people say that it's a reaction. So, and once that gets out, but the humdrum, and now you're turned on by somebody else, and now you because that's all they've ever really known. They never had that deep connection they thought they had. Dependency that they mistook for love, that the other person depended on them as they on them. So they thought that was love, and it didn't turn out. Drugs involved, alcohol, and that's fucking everything up. Yeah, they don't trust love anymore, and that's what I was talking about 11 years ago. And this video was inspired by someone that I was very close to, okay? And I was trying to explain it back then. What and this was a girl on YouTube. She was on YouTube, very popular, and struggled. You couldn't understand it, but there was alcohol, something crazy that there was really fucked up situations going on, and I kept trying to explain to her why this was understand it. Um, I don't know if she ever really. She ended up getting YouTube, just pretty much like going underground. She never really came back down, mainly because like her channel was built with the person that she was having all these difficulties with, and that the whole channel became a bad taste in her mouth. She just left it. Just plus, um, uh, she had another backup channel that was doing good. She went ahead and just killed that one too. Just walk away, and I can understand. I mean, like definitely with a lot of bad memories that you don't go back to. But like this, that what I'm talking about in the, well, if that's all you, it's going to be pretty easy to open up in something. You have to take a pretty big leap of faith to overcome you believe to be the what's the thing I'm trying to say here? What you believe to be it could work, or the way it works, or you don't same old fashioned way of the way it was last time you thought you were um, then love, the true love, because maybe your first time being in love for real, like, or getting involved seriously, and it all off, and you're thinking, well, I'm never going to do that again. It has to be something similar but better, or maybe something different that did the exact same thing. Like in other words, there's no real logic behind them. And so a lot of people, they just put things on a, they just keep, you know, they're just, man, that's, um, and it's unfortunate. It really is. It's happening. It's not more of, I guess you could find counselors. They're there, but the information is not out there that well. They almost like they don't want you. This is almost like part of it is that what they teach is or promote on TV and things like housewives, like, desperate for that. Well, what the fuck are they desperate for? They have everything, so they're desperate for sex. So this whole um, this got stagnant. Now they're banging the pool boy, they're banging the mailman, the paper boy, whatever comes along. That's like they're genres of porn based on that, and these are fans, and they're promoting it, as like the way or body counts. That's a big one now. Body count. What kind of body count you got, girl? And that dictates what? What's supposed to dictate that or and oh well, now we're taking power back from men, and now women, they want it to be like women can have as men have, and I'm sorry, sure. And the best way of explaining to women is if I had a key that could unlock any lock in the world, that'd be a pretty awesome thing. If I had a lock any key could open, that'd be a shitty lock. You see where I'm going? It doesn't work when women try to do the whole. They want to be known as a player. That's only going to attract other players because and they're going to be like, oh, okay, who can play that game? And that's all they ever. And if they do, finally, somebody's not a player, see who they are and do what is normally done. The odds that they're going to stop playing pretty high that they're not. Or it's too late, and then they realize that they've lost something really great. That happened. Women who kept wanting to play and lost. And they complain out to their girlfriends. Oh, he's the one that got away. He was. I didn't do this. Just fucking around. Blah blah blah. They're wrapped up in it. So I don't know. I doubt that's what you were going through, Lola. But I've seen that as well. Guys do the same thing. They'll be out there playing, and then the girl comes along, that wifey material. There is a couple girls at the time, and then they don't make the right choice. The hot instead of the hot one. Maybe they go with the thick one instead of the skinny one, or whatever. For physical athletes, they're going after things. They go after what other people would, how they would look, in front of other, you know. This one, I want known as this player, the hottest chick in it, and blah blah. I must have it all. You know, and meanwhile, they don't think about person. It's just about the appearance to other people, and it's an ego. All it is, very egotistic, very immature. That's what that's really all about. The play that mature to. to settle down and realize what's more important. And you see that a lot. This is what I was, and that was who this was for, was the person that they were interested in was a people player, and they kept trying to figure it out, and I didn't want to tell her what was going on. I had to, and then we were all kind of, she was suspecting it, and I'm thinking I didn't want to confirm it, but I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's pretty much if this is how he's treating you, then yeah, that's he's probably got somebody else. The fallback, the fallback whenever he keeps it. So if it doesn't work out, he's not alone. You know what I mean? But he's going after what he wants, basically, but he's keeping it around. Hey, are they ever going to do anything with it? Probably not. You know, not really. If they do, it's half-hearted. It's not. So that was the more the point of this video. In that in a more serious way. I wasn't listening very well back then. Let's hear a little bit more of it. Actually, I'll pause for a second and go to the bathroom. I've had enough coffee. Okay, hold on a second. Back. And we're back. Um, so, okay. Um, so, when did you decide relationship? All right. I wanted to get back to this so that people don't get the wrong impression here. Uh, this was something I was thinking about. The relationship that I have now um, is so much more. You know what I'm saying? Like so much more levels, um, than anything I've had before. So, to answer any questions you may have had, Lois, the woman I love now, Skylar's is amazing. Um, the love, the fun that we is just, I don't know. She's the yin to my yang. Like she completes me. Like she's everything I'm not, and I'm everything she's not. You know. Yet we are a lot, which is a very unique. Um, are there challenges? Yes, of course. You know, is it something that can't be worked out? Of course not. All of it. But, and I have total faith. The difference is where we're coming from the heart is a legit. You know what I mean? We both know that. How difficult it is to convey that is what we're, and this is what a real relationship is all about, is going through those ups and through those miscommunications, working things, communicating, knowing is a solution to the problem. We just got to find it and forgive, for missteps that we both made, you know, how I love is not the way that she loves, and how I love is not the way she wants me to love. In certain other words, ways to check off every, you know, and you know, it can feel. I'm sure on her end that you know, how can this, how can this be? Because it's probably something I'm thinking. I'm projecting a little bit here. How can somebody be that loving, to me, and have that kind of love and that's perfect, it's my type of personality. I just anything you want is keep it coming. I'm loving this. And her way, it's different. It doesn't work that way. She feels love. She expresses it differently, which is taking me time to sort of, you know, because it's also been a long time for me to be in a really committed, you know, that's that's the excitement that I feel anyways. That journey, it's so exciting. I mean, that's so you know that you're gonna, we are when the baby comes, when we're even that much further, which is gonna be 7 or 8 months, 7 months, I think. Um, yeah, 8.5 years now, is how old the baby is. So, when that ship pulls into port, we're so much further ahead than we are right this moment, to even it's difficult to picture. I can sort of picture it, how it's gonna be, but that's the exciting part. is, where we're going to be at exactly. I'm moving here, um, shortly. So he is, um, but we know what we're looking for. I know what I'm looking for. And so that's going to be the exciting part is that conquering the, and how that all is going to iron out. What the daily routine would be, um, and things like that. That's going to be sort of the mundane details that are not really all that exciting, but it kind of, because I just keep things exciting anyway. I keep things a little bit hoppy, and then there's times when I don't. I can be lazy. I can just stay around and do nothing. Like that's my plan. Nothing. Nothing. Call me up. Hey, what you doing this weekend? Oh, great. I was like, no, no, you don't understand. Nothing is something. That's what I call it. Click. So people don't. Uh, I like to do that. So it's those times when you go with what you feel. Like, oh, yeah, you feel like going somewhere? Yeah, yeah. And then you end up, you know, okay, I'm going out. And then for the rest of the weekend, nothing. Laying in bed watching movies or whatever. And we've done that. And so that's like my previous um, relationship. It was they were so structuring, and I was just like, I don't want to do that. Let me just do nothing. Like you just do that. And just lay in bed the whole weekend, watch movies, get up, eat, sex, fall back to sleep, and be living and cuddle and all this other stuff. I've done that. That's what I do. And I didn't really care if anybody thought differently of me or not. I That's just what I wanted to do. Earned it. I worked hard to be a lazy, you know, and I want to be. Others has, of course, do that. Blew it off next weekend, whatever. I've done that with laundry. Something stupid where short. I just don't have the energy to do it. Don't want to do it. That I couldn't do that with my ex. I couldn't. I had to be done, or she'd do it and mad at me because I didn't help. Um, can't you take it easy for a week? I mean, just relax or whatever. No, no, very done. And then which was I guess admirable that they were, but at the same time, when does the chores take precedence over just doing, doing lovingly, together? And that never seemed to really sink in. And that bothered me. That did. And other than that, like I said, in person, in general, she's good. She just never really got to the level I wanted her to be at, intellectually on that, in the sense of not that she wasn't an intellect, she was, but being able to talk that were just crazy wild and uh, just out there, that you wouldn't talk to anybody else about. She couldn't do that with me. Um, so I was off. I was minded, you know, the nature of reality itself, or whatever, way past your level. And that's why I like kind of conversations that me and Skylar have, that we'll dive right into that kind of stuff and talk about. That's what we were going to do this little podcast thing about, where we talk about just wild things, just great ideas on just things, like what, who are we, what am I, blah blah blah, like really an interesting question. That and she's funny too. She's so I make her laugh because she brings that up. So like license plates. She's always reading license plates. and read what they say, like make letters into words, like B U C C, or that might be but she's reading it like I before you see to C, before you see the C, you know, and then kind of looking at all the different methods or whatever that is, ways to read it. And some of it's fun, some of it's just laugh out loud. When you look at it that way, there you can just find humor in so many different things, and that's what I love about her too. Is the I love to make her laugh, and she makes me laugh. All I love her laugh. I love, you know, and I sound like a schoolgirl, like I love everything, but I do. I really do, and it shows. I'm sure. I mean, hell, all I am is all about my and yeah, it's a little though if it's too much. Like if she's not, because sometimes she does kind of back off a little bit. She's like, all right, that's enough. But I get it. You love me. I get it. Calm down there, Tiger. You know, and she almost wants me to not do that. Or she loves it, but she's like, you can't be that much in love. No way. Like, yeah, 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 way. Yeah, I know. But it's almost on my end. That's that's kind of is, and she said that to me a couple times. She's like, and I'm thinking, why not? What are you talking about? Some girls kind of fish for compliments, and she do that once in a while. Not a lot, but it kind of leads me to believe that she doesn't think she's as pretty as she is. She doesn't sometimes think that, and I think that every woman's that way. They want that little confidence boost. That sometimes they dress a certain way to get those compliments. And I know guys are great on their looks or whatever. It makes them feel great. A lot. Um, but when they do, it usually goes a long way with the guy. You know? When it comes from women, you can oftentimes come across or, you know, and and it feels sometimes okay to get flirted with. Okay, um, I don't know how yeah, it lets you know that you may have options, even though you're not looking for them. It lets you know that people. I'm still attracted. You but I like if I get compliments, I'm just like, damn, cool. You know, I'm looking at my girl. You know, like it comes across that way. Yeah, it's like you know, all right, keeping myself. My girl might be proud. I mean, like, she would. Most people don't get with each other because they're ugly. You know what I mean? Not worth. So you kind of want to keep yourself, you know, for your partner. Just how it goes. Just like thinking about she wore last time I seen her, and I was, yeah, she was wearing these like these above the knee like black boots. Yeah, they were hot. Um, yeah, that was a pretty good day. That ended on a really high note there. Um, just staring at her in those boots all day. Oh man, um, um, and those boots. Yeah, that was. I did it. Yep. It's those little things, guys. That your will do that will drive you nuts, and you may or may not tell them what it is. You don't want you know, you don't want them to of that. Avoid that, sometimes you tell them, and then they'll hold. And every time you tell them like that, and you're only going to use it when they want something. You know what I mean? Like then they'll do it. Then they know. You know what I mean? So if you don't tell them what it is, then maybe they can start wearing it like that. And they're going, all right. I don't know what it was exactly I did, but you go over me, so it must work. There's times where I'm just looking at her. There's times and I'm just like, love, oh Jesus, I love this. You know, you just want to spill it out. Like trying to hold it because it's almost going and you're just like, well, spill. Yeah, okay, there it is. There's all my love, and then you have to like. And sometimes I definitely know um, I'm pretty intense when so my scale. You know, if I'm in balance, um, I can be pretty fucking intense on one or I think I do everything to balance people to handle. Um, but she's handling the way that she handles it, and I handle her the way that I. So she loves. Um, so it works. You know, I think it's going to continue for a long time to come. You know that the way that you can say it like this: the way that you expect your partner to love you, um, he may not love you that like that. They can do. So I guess it's up to you to reassure them that the way that they're loving you, that there is compromise both on both sides of the street, that happy middle ground where you understand each other in that level, and you know, and openness, explore that, and not be afraid of judgment or uh, anger or anything like that. To just be able to feel and with your partner, with the person you love, and that's where you really grow when you're doing that. Otherwise, it's stagnant. You're not communicating with your partner, and you're just going. Then you're not really, you're just, you know, it took me a long time to understand that, but it really is. It's just you're not growing in the relationship. You're letting this stagnation over that becomes so boring internally. Love, it's like you have to keep you know, planting new seeds, new flowers. It's just the garden gets overgrown and it's not a garden anymore. Now it's just uh, it's not anymore. It's not because you let it get overgrown. A garden of love is overgrown. Nobody tended to it, weeds out, got rid of the bad stuff. Right away. When you see weeds creeping in, maybe a partner like that you can address, talk about it, yeah, put it into it. These are little weeds that you're pulling out of that garden of so that it can remain. You know, there's things that you can call that behavior if it's something you can, stop or say. Maybe there's one relationship I knew about where we talked about how they didn't like that their man looked at the way that he looked at women with her that he would just go down like he as if she wasn't sitting right next to him. What? And she's sitting there just watching him going, "What the fuck? Well, why don't you just go over there and talk to him then? If you're gonna look at her, stare at her ass out that hard, you know what I mean? Like the guy never that would and she had to get so used to every time she would be crying about it. Why would he do that? This and that and the other. And I didn't know. Like, he's not that into you. Or maybe he's trying to say look more like you know, you know, maybe he's just a dick, you know, prick, sensitive prick that doesn't think about his significant other and what he must be thinking. Watch his fucking eyes. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, you don't want to do your life sitting here. This, don't make her think that you got eyes on somebody else. Don't make her think that. Even if you don't, and you're on somebody's, fucking have some respect. You know, your wife is sitting right here. Look at you. If I wasn't here, what would you be doing? You're staring down that hard. If I wasn't here, would you talk to her? That kind of shit. That's what's going to go through their head. And I'm like, I love you, not like that. If you're doing that right, he does not have the right. He can't play like a sexual love, and that's it. He doesn't. The only way they love. Guys are like that. But it tore her up, and surprisingly, right? Um, Baby, which was really a sad story. Tried to have a baby, and it's such a sad story what happened. But, anyways, yeah, it was a sad story. But it was all built on the wrong thing. So, anyways, um, well, I guess that this Sunday morning, I might do another live a little bit later on. Uh, check on it. But I think that's enough for this old video. I wanted to kind of rehash this and see if I change my opinion at all over 11, 12 years now, and see if there was anything that I would say different. No, not really. It's pretty much the way it is. People way, and you have to. Sometimes you have to learn, and that can be very challenging. If you're not up to ask, don't try. If you're not up, don't get halfway there and bail. I mean, that's my advice to you: is if you do run into a situation where you have to teach it right, um, you better know yourself. You know what it is that you're teaching. 'Cause if you don't, you just want people to love you your way, and that's it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Your way, is always, their way is not always. What does that mean? Yeah, but that's where communication is key. Honest, open dialogue where you can trust, you can talk with them. There's on a, many of compatible relationship, loving relationship, falling apart because of lack of communication, which creates lack of trust, and that is a cornerstone of a relationship that can't be overlooked. It can't. And that's the biggest problems I see. A lot of people is that they're in it to go through life together, and that's about it. They don't really. It's a matter of convenience. Public figures, like public show. He's a beautiful woman. They make good money, or they have kids, but nothing substantial there. Matter of convenience and make sense, and that's it. Really, really. And then you end up with. You see this all the time. That They're just something you don't. So most of the time, they make more because they don't have that connection there. The sex is gone. Where other places, and they never find it, they get found out, and then they're so. And so that's almost promoting now, like, body counts.
and who needs to let it try? No one knows how to teach it, how to be it. Everyone's just out doing whatever the hell they want to do and can't not happy. But yeah, this is what that video was all about. Um, your pitchfork and how some people they want to hurt other people or to find out if they love them themselves, if they love them, and if that person loves them. They all the individuals destroying each other in the process, trying to figure it out. And by the time they never get to that point, even though it's in, you know, but it just by the time they figure it out, they'd already fucked it all, figured it out. It's really it's sad. Anyways, that's what that video was trying to avoid, you know, and um, and I hope in the future if I can convince Skylar to get she's shy. Apart, she's shy uh, and outgoing at the same time, which is odd. But you know, she's some interesting personalities that can come out, and then some not so. They're just want to hang out, watch TV and or theater, you know, watch movies and stuff, and enjoy, you know, cuddle, hold each other, and do our thing, you know, and just have these wonderful moments. And about it, we're having new ways to explore, and that's what everybody gets to do, your partner one day. If you don't have that already, um, this is the first time I've ever experienced that. You know what I mean? For real, you know. And I'm so looking forward to the future. There's a lot of really great things coming, and it's about time. I mean, shit, man. How long did I go? You guys, you see me around here for God knows how many years. When have you ever seen me? Never. You know what I mean? And but guys, I'm gonna call this a cast, and I will catch y'all on another one. Uh, all right, I guess that's it. Then I'm gonna go. This has been the first. We can get uh, some Q and A's, know her a little bit better, like I do, and you're gonna find it amazing if she decides. Um, that's she can be fighty sometimes. So, but anyways, you'll love her as much as I guarantee it. All right, guys. Love you guys. That I guess I don't know. I don't have a good sign off. Mm, Uh, squeezing.